Hey guys, how's it going? I am about to run to Home Depot and we're going to get the wire that we need for the fence right here. Um, it's funny, you can still see the diamond pattern on the fence a little bit. That's really funny. Um, you don't see it in real life, but you can definitely see it on camera. That's weird. Anyways, we're running to Home Depot. I'm gonna go pick up the wire that I need. I want to at least get the wire strung. I don't know exactly what I'm going to put for the vine aspect of the Espalier, but if I get the wire on there, at least it's something to look at rather than just a very long blank fence. I can't really plant too much in there. It has to be able to just grow flat. And so I don't know what I want. If you guys have suggestions, I want to do ivy. Everyone is telling me it's a spider magnet and that it's just going to take over and cause issues. But I swear that there's like dwarf ivies that you can find. I might have to like order them online, but we shall see. Anyways, I'm going to go get that. We'll get the wire strung up today. I'll probably be in full sun by the time I get back. And then Brent is working on getting water for the greenhouse. He's putting in a French drain. So we're installing a French drain into the greenhouse, and in the French drain is going to be, we'll have a sink inside the greenhouse, and it's just gonna go out to that French drain, and it's fine because we're just using it for things like, honestly, it's literally just gonna be for me filling up pots, and it's gonna be overflow from me filling up pots, so it'll just be like hose water. It's actually just gonna be tapped into the hose pipe. So he's going to be digging a trench while I'm gone and trying to install the French drain. And then once that happens, that means that we can work on actually getting the water inside the greenhouse. We already have electricity in the greenhouse. And then that means I can start figuring out what I want to do for a counter space in there. I think we'll end up customizing something and we'll build something. So I think I might want to do like a concrete counter in there. I think that might be really pretty, and do like a really chunky leg. We'll see what happens. If I'm gonna do that, I kind of want to find like spun legs or whatever, carved legs. That makes no sense. Anyways, let me show you guys the fence and then what he's gonna do. So this is the fence that we're gonna re-put the Espalier on. I have eyelets here. So this is where the wire gets strung. So to do this, what you do is you figure out how many diamonds you want. I wanted 2 diamonds tall. So let me see if I can show you guys. So there's 1 diamond here, and then there's 1 diamond here, and then there's a single diamond in the middle, and then 1 and 2. So I wanted 2 diamonds, and what you do is you figure out how long of a space you've got, and then you divide that by how many diamonds you want. So I wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 diamonds. So I took the space, divided it by 10, and then that gave me where I needed to put my first top row. Then you divide that number in half. And then that tells you, so then you do your 10 there, and then you divide that in half, and then that tells you where this diamond needs to go, or where this next eyelet needs to go. So it goes right in the center of these 2 right here. And then you figure out your space from your top to your bottom, and you divide that number by 3. So there's my first one there, my second one is right there, and then my third one is up at the top, because I know I wanted 2 diamonds. So you basically did your 10 across the top, and then you do your 3 on the bottom, and then you divide this number in half, and then you divide this number in half, and that tells you where this eyelet needs to go. And so that gets you the exact center, and then you just continue to follow that straight down. So there's a row of eyelets there, 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 and then there's a row on the very bottom. So you can see there's a straight row of eyelets all the way down there, and then there's a straight row of eyelets here, and then there's another one here, another one here, and then there's one all the way at the very, very bottom right there to hook into the very bottom rows. So if you're doing this and you're doing 2 squares, you should have 1 up and down row with 3. So you've got 1 on the bottom, 1 in the middle, 1 on the top, and then you should have your next row over that has a row of 1, 2, and that is it. And then this also, it starts out at 2, so we've got 1 there, and then there's I need to put 1 in over there. It kind of ripped out, and that's what's going to give you your diamond pattern. So I hope that makes sense. Once I get the wire on there, it makes a lot more sense. Let's go to the very back and I'll show you what he's gonna be working on. So for the greenhouse, this is a French drain. You dig a hole, you throw gravel down, and then you put this in, and the water just kind of like slowly seeps out of it. A lot of people use it where they have gutters or where they're doing things like what we're kind of doing. And you also put down landscape fabric. So he's got landscape fabric, and then he'll put gravel on top of that, and then that. And then in the greenhouse, our water is going to come in from our hose spigot right here. It's gonna go underground, and then it's gonna come in. And then it's gonna come in through this pipe here, and then we'll have a sink here, and then it'll drain from this drain right here, and it will drain out. And he found the pipe right here. So our French drain comes out from that side there, comes out here, and now he's going to just dig a straight line out. And then the French drain will come out here, and it'll all be able to drain out this way. And that's how we're going to get water to be able to drain from inside the greenhouse. I just noticed this too that I wanted to show you. Remember how I just recently made this little wreath form out of willow branches? Well, I'd taken one of the branches and I shoved it into the ground, and then I wove it around. You can see all of the other branches are brown. The one that I shoved into the ground is still green. And look at this. Here's some growth right here. And I can see all of the buds are swollen on it. So it is starting to push growth. And I actually just popped off a piece of growth on there. So I don't really want this pushing any green growth. I do want it to die, unfortunately. So anytime I see that green growth, I'm gonna come in and pop all of that off. But I just thought it was funny. I knew it was gonna sprout. It's just funny to always see it sprouting. So once he gets that done, then I have to figure out exactly what I want for a table and for a sink inside the greenhouse. I am leaning towards doing like a apron front sink. It's a little bit more cottagey, I feel like. And so I do want to like tone down the formality of the greenhouse with a chandelier in it and a marble table. Tone down the formality. Calm down, Robbie. I do want to tone it down just a little bit. So I'm thinking of adding things like the willow wreath forms and adding those types of things into the greenhouse and adding an apron front sink. That'll help kind of like tone that down just a little bit, but still be really classy. Let's head to Home Depot. I don't even need to worry about any of that right this moment. Let's head to Home Depot, go get the wire so we can come back and string that up so it looks a little bit better. We have to stop really quick and get food for the dogs. I just remembered that we were out, so we're gonna go inside and go pick some of that up really quick for them. Okay, we're gonna say hi to animals first. There's somebody screaming. Oh, is it you? Hello. 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 Can you say hello? Hello. These guys are cool. Look at this one. She's so fluffy. Oh, it's a male. He's so fluffy. And then the orange ones kind of look like a highlighter exploded on them. These are the females. Here are the zebra finch. This is usually where we get our little guys from. And then look at these. These guys are blue. They're hiding. Oh look, here's 3 more. They're so pretty. Hello. Okay, but these ones are stunning. These are fancy lovebirds. They're very fancy. And this is Mr. Talkative. Hello. Hello, dear one. Okay, I came for wet dog food. And I got distracted by all of the animals. And I always try to grab a couple dog treats. These are their favorites. Sadie's teeth are getting a little soft, so I'm gonna find something a little softer for her. I might get her like these guys, because they're a little bit smaller. Into the orange store we go, and I don't know why I parked on this side when what I need is all the way over on that side of the store. Oops, oh well. Look, these are new. They have hop seed bushes in tree form. They're $60. They're very small, so they'll still need training. You'll still have to train them to be tall. I have one that's, the trunk stops about there, and then mine's got foliar growth up above. But you could continue to just train this one and just pop off all the lower bushes, and for $60, that's not bad. I love this shrub so much. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 of them on our property. I just really wish that I could find some Rebecca that were smaller that I could put in the landscape, because these ones are $30 and I just can't spend $30 on a Rebecca. but I do want to find some for fall time. I just don't see any anywhere. But these dahlias would be really pretty for fall. Fill up the window basket because we don't get cold enough during fall. That might be fun because I want to redo the window basket anyways and just do a whole bunch of red and black dahlias. Like, these are really, really dark dahlias. They're really pretty. Brent would be really happy with those. If you're gonna pick your stuff up from Home Depot, this is the section you're gonna look for. All the stuff with the brand Ook. This is the one that we use. Don't buy this one. See how it's just a single piece of wire? You want to make sure that you buy this one right here. See how this is braided? This is the one that you need. It is a 4-strand braided wire. I thought it was 3-strand, but I guess it's 4-strand. 100 feet, and it is $10.37, I think. I don't see the price for the 3 braided wire. I don't know, it's less than 13. You also need eye hooks, and you can just grab these. These are the 1/8 inch, and then these are a 1.5 inch long, and they just have a little eye in them, and you just put the wire through it. And these guys are $8.23 a piece. And this is more than you need. This is like a 50 pack. You don't even need 50 of them for the project that I'm doing. I'm not picking any more because I already have some. Okay, I've got my wire. I'm looking at some of these vines, and I think these all are probably gonna be too much. This is more honeysuckle. This is like a pink honeysuckle. This is the pink lemonade. Bougainvillea, that's not it. No mandevilla. Jasmine, that grows too fast. I don't think any of these. White potato vine, that's not really like one that I would be able to wind very well. It's a little more airy. I always think these are pretty. Sweet memory. I don't know. This is that snail vine, I think. But no. And then bougainvillea. It just gets a little too woody, and they don't always do great in our area, so we're gonna pass on vines today. Well, since I've got the dogs taken care of and I've got my wire that I needed, I'm not gonna pick up any plants. I wanna come up with like a legit fall plan for the garden. So let's get home and just start working on this, I guess. Okay, we are back home. I have my eyelets. I've got my wire sitting over there. I have a pair of wire cutters. I also have a really old pair of pruners. Sometimes the wire cutters don't always work in a really old... these are actually a really strong pair of pruners, and they work really well for cutting wire, even though that's not what they're made for at all. Let me show you guys what I'm gonna do though. So basically what I do is I start at the bottom and I just do a straight run through. And so it's gonna go from there, and then it'll just cross through and it'll attach at the bottom. And then I'll do another wire that goes from here over and then goes that way. So I always just kind of start at the bottom or the top, and I just figure out my straight run across. So let's go ahead and get started. I cannot wait to see the wire back up. The wire always just makes a big difference on it and helps it look better. All right, I got my first set of diagonals done. Now I just have to do the second set of diagonals, and this is where it really comes to life. So you can see like over on this corner piece, I ran my diagonal straight down here, and then instead of tying in here and running a straight diagonal, I tied in up there, because if I had tied in right here and done my diagonal, then what would have happened is I would have had to run a short piece from the top there over this way when I was running my other diagonals. That doesn't make the most sense. And then I should also have a diagonal here, but I didn't do that because I would just be a very short piece. So instead what I'll do is I will hook up from the top there, run straight across, and then straight down that way. And that's when all of this is gonna start actually coming to life. Okay, it is done. I'm gonna come back in the evening and show you guys when the lighting is not so harsh. I'm actually really glad to be done because it was getting a little toasty over here. So we'll be back this evening and I'll show you guys so you guys can actually see it without all the crazy shadows and everything, because right now it looks real wavy and it's not. But let me show you guys where Brent is at, because he has made big progress digging in the sun. So if we come back here, he has gotten the black plastic in, he got the rock in for it, and then he's got some of the fittings attached to it, and he's about to attach the French drain part, and then he just backfills all of this. And then this is the pipe, so it's got the holes on the bottom of it, so these will face downward, so the water can just slowly drain out. And then it also has a drain pipe at the very end of it, and water can drain through this right here. So lots of drainage, and then it's not really meant for washing anything. It's literally just meant for, like, you know, maybe a gallon or two of water to be able to wash down the sink after I'm done watering some of my plants. And just like that, it is in. So we've got the gravel down below it, so it washes down to the gravel. And then this plastic is super breathable, so water will still be able to flow through it, but it'll help kind of like kill off any roots trying to come towards this, because inevitably roots are going to want to come to this. So this will help slow that down and stop that. But like I said, the plastic is super breathable. It has like a ton of little tiny holes in it. See that? So it's got all the holes in it, so the water will be able to just pour away. And then we're going to go ahead and put some more gravel on top. Well, not we. He's going to go ahead and put some more gravel on top of this and then backfill it with dirt. So it's going to be just kind of surrounded by gravel, so that way the holes don't get clogged or anything like that. Okay, it is the end of the day. It's mostly in shade. There's a little bit that's still in the sun. I did pop up the umbrella to put it in more shade, but it looks so good. Brent did also finish the French drain. I'll show you guys that. It's literally just going to look like dirt. But this is so nice. So, I mean, this section's in sun, but it's great. It looks really good. It looks like I put fishnets on my fence. But it does look really, really good, and I really do like it. And now I really need to really figure out what I'm going to plant down here. Some type of evergreen-ish would be nice, slow-ish growing. The honeysuckle just grew way too fast. Weekly was just a little bit too much maintenance. I would like something that's like maybe like every like 2 or 3 weeks to a month maintenance would be really nice. So we'll see what I can find or what I come up with. I'm going to do a little research tonight and see what I can come up with, but it is done all the way down, and I definitely think that you need 200 feet of this stuff. It's just under 200 feet is what I used to be able to make 10 of these diamonds. And what else you can do too is, if you don't want to do it so it's a grid like this, you can also do big diamonds. So what you do is you do just one on the bottom, one on the top. Actually, let me show you. I've got them in the driveway. So I've got them right here, big diamonds. So what you do is you do one on the bottom, one on the top, and then this spacing is more narrow. You don't go like the full length. I knew on my fence line here I wanted 10 diamonds, so I just took the entire length and divided that by 10, and then that gave me how far I needed to space these guys out. This here is Arabian Jasmine, Summer Soul, I think is what it's called, or something like that. It's beautiful. It's evergreen-ish. In the wintertime, if we hit 32, I do need to come out and I do need to cover it. I did not do that this year, and so there is some burn. We also haven't had many blooms on it this year. We've had like a good amount of blooms. I do remember first year got more blooms. These ones are in more shade. These ones grew faster. These ones are in full sun, and these ones haven't reached the top, but these ones bloomed a ton. And the only reason that I don't want to do more of this is because this one, it does hold on to its dead blooms. So that's kind of a bummer, but the blooms on it are absolutely stunning and they smell so good. We have this in a container, and I honestly I love this plant. I wouldn't mind more of them. Is that aphids? No, it's not aphids. I wouldn't mind having them in the landscape somewhere, but they definitely need protection in the landscape. You get a little bit of protection here where they're at, up against a wall, but this is the only thing that I don't like about them, is usually I come through and I have to deadhead all of these blooms. So usually when I get out of the car, I just will grab a couple of them and I just try to pop all these dead blooms off, but it does bloom a ton. It just needs as much sun as possible. The issue is with it being in the sun is it doesn't grow as fast. So this is a little over a year's growth. You can see that branch hasn't even grown at all. And we did just start giving it fertilizer, and we've noticed that that helps. I really didn't think you had to fertilize jasmine, but these ones we have. Also, Desdemona Rose smells so good. Highly recommend growing this one. This is in full sun. I think a bug just touched me. Heebie-jeebies. Full sun. She just sent out a flush of blooms, and she's finishing with this flush. She gets the cutest little dainty blooms. They're so pretty, and she smells really, really good. So that's why we do have her in the driveway. So that way when we pull in, we can smell a really nice smelling rose. But I wanted to show you guys this, that you can do it in big diamonds. It's actually really not hard to do the big diamonds at all. It's actually probably easier to do this than the small ones. I guess we'll go back and I'll show you guys the French drain, but that is the Espalier in big diamonds and in little diamonds also. And ta-da, there it is. Doesn't look like anything happened because it shouldn't look like anything happened. So yeah, we've got the French drain in there, meaning that now I can have water inside of the greenhouse and not worry about it. Brent did test it out. He did pour some water down the drain. It drained perfectly. No issues at all. And now I need to figure out about the counter that I want in here and the sink that I want in here. And the sink is just going to drain to the French drain. It's really just going to be for watering plants and things like that. I know that that's a question that I'm going to get. So it's not going to be used for washing dishes or gray water. It's literally just going to be, I'm going to fill up the sink to soak some plants in it, or because I am washing my hands. And that's really all that the sink is going to be for. So I don't really need a big sink, but I do want a small little apron front sink for in there. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was a pretty productive day. It was a good day. We got a lot done. Anyways, thanks for coming along with me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.